up, y'all? Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back.
And look, before we jump into this topic today, I just got to talk about our Cowboys.
Yes, out here making us proud. You know what, though? I ain't even out here bragging. I'm just like, yeah, this is what we do,
No, I'm a brag because they played the Giants, and the Giants is the team, so house divided.
You know what? Not only did the Giants lose, but all them players they lost, like during the game and stuff. I was like, oh dang,
yes. I felt bad for them though.
They should just try to get that number one pick. That's what they need to aim for now. That's exactly what they need to aim for. Get that number one pick. Mm-hmm. Hot garbage.
Listen, y'all better just embrace yourself for this whole football season, because we're going to come on here every episode. We're going to talk about our Cowboys.
I know that's right.
But nah, let's go ahead and dive into our topic today. The importance of making time for yourself. I know we talk about this all the time.
Because, it's important to push this. It's very important. And it's also easy to lose sight of, because you get so caught up in life. So, no, it needs to be emphasized.
Yes. I mean, for starters, it's essential for our mental health and wellness. I don't know about you, Candace, but I feel like as military spouses, moms, wives, and in many other hats that we wear, excuse me, y'all, at times I feel like it's hard for us to make time to focus on ourselves. Like, we start our days with so many obligations, such as like getting the kids ready for school, getting ready for work, whether it's running errands or whatever the case may be. And sometimes those obligations can pile on throughout the day and the day just go by. Like, for me, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I don't have control over my time. And it's like almost the choice to make time for myself is not even an option because of the many tasks that needs to be completed by me. It's like a never-ending cycle, feeling like I can't catch a break.
Right. And that's what I'm trying to get better at, like writing my little list, actually using the calendar, using timers, using to go off to let me know, hey, it's time for you to do this, work on this before the day is over with. But you're right. It's like, it's so easy to get caught up in life that you look up and you're like, oh my God, I still got to do this, still got to do that. And it's interesting because, a lot of people talk about multitasking, but it's hard when you also want to be in a moment for certain things, because you sometimes, as a mom, as a spouse, as a woman who works in general, sometimes it's hard to do all of that, to be trying to multitask in that sense of taking care of the house, taking care of your job, whatever the case is. And because at some point you want to feel like you could just let down your hair and just literally do nothing, like have that moment to do nothing, when people probably looking at you like, wait, couldn't you be folding some clothes right now? Couldn't you be checking some homework, right? Whatever. And it's like, I've been working just as hard as everybody else, so it's definitely important to get those breaks in.
Yeah, and that's the problem right there, because we should never get to the point where we feel like that, like where we've exhausted all our energy and time dealing with everything else without carving out that me time. Like, don't get me wrong, not all of us will be able to get like those extra hours and designated for the me time, but we gotta try. Excuse me, y'all. I think that me time definitely allows us to de-stress, refresh, and refuel our bodies, minds, and soul, so we can be the best version of ourselves for everyone else.
Right. And then when you refresh like that, and I love that little breakdown, by the way, just a quick side note. I like how you broke that down. But I think it's important because we're more productive when we're at our best, which allows us to be able to accomplish more throughout the day if you're more productive. So it's like, if you find that time, whether it's at night or in the morning, to kind of regroup and get yourself on track, like I said, be way more productive throughout the day. And that keeps you on track to get a lot of those things done, which allows you to free up that time as well. Because I don't know how y'all are, but I definitely have moments where I drag stuff out you know, I'll be doing it, but I'm dragging it out in the process because all I'm thinking about is how much I have to finish instead of just doing it sometimes, you know? And so, you're absolutely right with you're absolutely right with describing the idea of regrouping, refreshing your mind and everything like that, so you can focus better on the things you need to focus on to get done. And so using that time for yourself will create more time around, you know, for you to do other things.
And yes, I mean, and we all know that like my me time is going to look different from your me time versus somebody else's me time. I know y'all recall me talking about how I go into the bathroom at times and sit there to escape my kids. That's real, y'all, but that's my me time because sometimes that's all I can get for me, you know? So you got to do what you got to do.
Shoot, because I know I'm quick to be like looking at my clock, like, as soon as my husband get home, I'm going upstairs, running a bubble bath, locking my doors. Don't get me wrong, my kids old enough to unlock doors now, so they be coming up in there. I be like, exactly.
Mom, what you doing?
Like, especially, don't let me have like the lights low, because my little one, he would come in and flip on the lights, like, Mommy, what you doing? Trying to relax in the water. That's what I'm trying to do. But you know, anyways, but yeah, so. Whatever that is, even if it's exercising, getting a walk, just find ways to quiet everything down and and almost like let your mind just be idle, you know? Because I know I'm one of the people who definitely has like a racing mind. Like I'm constantly, like I said, constantly thinking about everything I need to accomplish within a day's time and things that I can do. And I think also, when you don't take proper me time, that's when you also sometimes may end up resorting to bad habits more so, because, you know, and let me be clear. I'm not making any type of judgments, but like, you know, people talk about junk TV, right? You know why you like trash TV? Because you could literally shut your mind off and just watch this. Because it's not like it's deep enough where you have to catch every detail of this and that. Like if you were watching like a suspense or something, you know what I mean? It's not like you have to really get all caught up in it. It's just like, oh, this person fussing this person out. They don't like them, you know, and you start watching stuff like that. Some stuff like junk food itself can be comforting. Like just little things that just make you feel better. You're like, I'm just go for this because you just want to relax after a long day or whatever. But if you take those times to focus on yourself, like you said, regroup, get yourself together, then some of those habits won't be as strong, you know, because you won't have that strong desire as much to do some of those things, especially if they're things that you're trying to quit, if you're trying to stop doing, you're trying to get better at. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I know sometimes I try to combine a few of those things where like reading will help calm me down. So like I'll get on a treadmill and read at the same time. Like that's my way of relaxing, because the exercise is physically relaxing my body, where the reading is just slowing down my mind in a good way, you know? So it's a good full body mind workout, I guess you could call it. Exactly.
All in
one. So whatever your thing is, don't feel guilty. Don't feel like you're selfish. It's very important. Especially if you find yourself snapping at your husband or your kids.
Woo!
Sister girl. Hey, you need exactly.
Take a break.
Where that Kit Kat at? No, I'm joking, y'all.
Eat a Snickers. That's yourself.
Healthy habits.
Oh man.
Exactly. Shoot, something. But yeah.
Oh man. No, that is so true though. Like with the bad habits, because like no lie, y'all. So I have been telling myself like, all right, it's hard for me to try to like fit in the me time during the day with dealing with the kids and stuff. I was like, okay, so you know what? I am gonna get up an extra hour early, so that way I can just focus on me. I can work out, do whatever I want to do. You know, reset my mind.
That sounds good,
so
girl.
I can be ready to take on.
That sounds real good.
Girl, it sounds good, but when that alarm go off, snooze. Snooze every day. I kid you not, kid. It's every day. I just be like, okay, tomorrow.
Tomorrow is the day.
And it'd be like 5 a.m. I'd be like, get up, snooze.
what's crazy, what's sad is I'd be like talking myself like, no, because Mary, you just went to sleep at 3 because Felix woke up. So you need to sleep. So why are you going to sacrifice sleep that you need to get up and have me time? So get that sleep. And I'd be like, yeah, you're right, self. But then at the end of the day, it's like, dang. At the end of the day, I didn't get my workout in and I feel tired, more sluggish than, normal. And it's just like, dang, okay, tomorrow for sure. And girl, the cycle just repeats. So we're saying this now, but I'm saying this for my reference so I can do better as well. Like, I have to do better.
And let me say this, y'all.
Go ahead.
Talking to yourself is a symptom of not getting enough me time. Okay? So if you find yourself talking to yourself, just know you're not getting. You're not getting enough me time. Okay, but no, I feel that. Like, I was listening to I think it was a Marine, and he was talking about how you gotta, when it comes to those things, you just gotta have like hardcore discipline. And he was like, when it comes to like waking up in the morning, he doesn't think of it as an option. Is that, you know what I'm saying? So it's almost like just that alarm goes off, you get up, and eventually your body gets used to that process, right? Because let's say if you had to be at work at that time where you had to get up at 5, you would get right up. But because it's an option, you have the option to sleep in. That's how you see it anyway. It allows you to sleep longer, and to, you know what I'm saying, instead of doing what you want to do. But trying to get to that point where you disciplined enough to say, no, this is not an option. This is part of what I want to do. This is who I want to be. I'm getting up this morning. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's tough, especially when you're dealing with a young one who they may wake you up at different points. You know what I mean? So even though you may have planned to get X amount of hours of sleep straight, that's not how it works, you know? So and sometimes there are going to be days where your me time can be you getting that extra hour of sleep just because it may be needed that bad, you know? So trying to like almost like pick and choose those moments of when, you decide like what's more important in this moment. Is it me getting this workout in? Is it me getting this extra sleep? You know, what is it? I was also going to ask you though, since you recently started working, how your time has shifted, or your me time. How has that changed since going from being a stay-at-home mom to working now?
It has changed drastically. Like, we have like, so when showing up at work, we have like about a 15-minute time where we can sit and like get everything ready for when our student arrives. So I kind of use that as my me time now, which is kind of beneficial because it's already set into like my hours. But it's still kind of hard because it's like, I'm getting up in the morning. I'm getting up extra early now to get Felix ready for daycare, make sure the kids are ready for school, get myself ready for work, go do 8 hours, at work, come home. I still got to cook dinner. It's just an added on task now, which now I don't have like that extra time that I did before, to prep dinner and everything like that. So now I actually have to plan things out. Which can be beneficial, but it's been a struggle, no lie. But it's crazy that you mentioned what that Marine said about the option, because literally, no lie, last week I had to do I had to get up at like 4 a.m. Part of the organization I volunteer for, Partners in Promise. They had like a summit where I had to be part of and like represent them at one of these booths. And it came with ease. I would set my alarm and I got up. And it's crazy that when it's something like, when you're doing something for someone else or because of a job or something like that, you'll get up. But when it involves you, it's just like, no, it can wait. And it shouldn't be like that.
And that goes right back to almost like respecting yourself on that level in a sense, you know what I mean? Because like respecting your desires, your wishes for yourself, because like you said, when it's somebody else's desire for you to get up that early, you may still feel a certain way about getting up, but you're doing it. It's like, oh, I know I got to get up, so I'm gonna go do this because I got to handle this real quick. But like I said, once it becomes that option, once you look at it as being an option, you're going to do what feels good, in a lot of moments. And usually what feels good is not what's good for you, So, well, in regards to this, because I mean, there's some things that, I mean, so, but we ain't talking about those things right now. So, no, but seriously.
That's a different topic for another day.
Exactly. So, do you think though, with having those hours away from the house, I know you said like there are certain aspects where you're like, oh man, I have to, plan out dinner and things like that. But as much as, we love our family and our kids, there are some pressures that come along with being home, and also some stresses. But does basically working away from the home, does that also allows for you to have some other moments? Because I would assume like you driving to work, driving home, you are getting you could get like some quiet time or something. Or what is your schedule like when it comes to that?
Kind of. Actually, in the morning, I actually takes DJ to school.
Oh, okay.
I drop him off every morning. So that alone time is kind of limited. But definitely coming home, if I'm married, does not ask to have a ride with me home. So it's like, dang, like, okay. When I can, I take it, and sometimes I'll just ride in silence.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm listening to an audio, podcast or whatever the case may be, just to, get my mind right for what I'm about to go into.
Exactly.
Next.
That's what, like, I completely understand that, because I worked a few jobs where I've had like an hour and a half to 2 hour drive, and everybody would be like, now granted, the first time around I didn't have any kids, so it wasn't a big deal to me at all, because the time I got home didn't matter, and you know what I'm saying, like it wasn't a big deal. I wasn't stressed out. Well, let me not phrase it like that, but I didn't have any other responsibilities once I got home, so I didn't have to worry about anything. Whereas the second time around, I still had responsibilities, and I was stressed out because I had to use that time to kind of quiet down, because by the time I got, finally got home, it was running crazy. You know what I mean? Trying to get everybody fed, washed up, ready for the next day, and hoping that maybe I could watch a little bit of TV just to wind down before I had to go to sleep and be up super early in the morning. Like, it was extremely stressful. Not healthy at all for me. But, and the whole idea of me time then, I couldn't even.
It wasn't,
and like I said, we had this conversation before, but until some mothers kind of my mom included, my sister included, but just basically like, you need to find ways to check out every once in a while to regroup, and get yourself together, and really truly feel replenished, and not like you just carrying around so much weight.
Yeah, that's what's up. That is great advice. Couldn't get my words out. But no, like, listen, y'all, like, we know, like, our lives can be stressful. There's going to be days where things can get overwhelming, but don't let that me time be an option.
Yes.
It is essential and necessary.
Yep. And I think, and also if you really do like focus on putting it into your schedule, whether, because some people need it daily, some people just need it weekly, whatever your routine is, putting it into your schedule somehow. Even if it's something that's every other weekend I go get my nails done by myself, whatever it is, just make sure it's a routine and not something that you just do once you've lost your mind, and then you're trying to recover. Like, no. Do it as a routine, work it into your schedule. So, you're constantly getting back to where you need to.
Well, thanks for coming to our TED Talk. Let's go ahead and hit them with this affirmation.
All right. I am enough.
I have the power to create the life I desire.
I am worthy of my dreams.
I am worthy of my dreams. And remember, shine, sis. You got this.
You got this, girl.